How would you describe mindful media?
Mindful media to me is always questioning and allowing yourself to observe the world around you with as much curiosity as possible. Yeah. So like, I think we take things for face value, which honestly as humans, that makes sense. But in today's environment, context is important. And that's why media literacy is called media literacy, because, for example, I wasn't born in America. And so when I was in grade school and they were teaching really classic novels that had references to the Bible, I did not have media literacy of the Bible. So I had to learn the Bible to understand some of these classics. Right? And so therefore literature, whether reading, whether it's like a novel or nonfiction, will help you provide context into our current world. So if I'm reading the Diary of Anne Frank, it's giving me context to right now.
I think when I came to the US and I realized I don't know what's going on, I inhaled memes.
Yes.
SpongeBob.
Are memes a form of literacy?
1,000%.
Yeah.
They tell you so much about cultures.
Yes.
Particularly because like in New York, like you're surrounded by so many communities and cultures. And sure, you could read a history book. Valid. You could go on YouTube or something. I would go. Do you remember the subtle Asian traits era on Facebook? Yeah. Subtle curry traits, subtle Filipino. And I was like, oh, this is a gold mine of cultural information. There were subtle Christian traits. There were Muslim groups. And I joined every group, even the white ones, because it was like Intel. Midwest. I was like, intelligence. But the thing with me and why I loved memes, because it kept me culturally informed and like relevant to contemporary times and my generation, the youth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was laughing, because you started off, you're like, I read the Bible. And I was like,
I didn't read the Bible. I just crashed my friend's vacation Bible school once, which thank you, Sarah. But no, I mean, I think memes are a language of our generation. And if you are new somewhere, for example, we were all very new to RedNote and we did not really know how to communicate. And so we communicated with our new Chinese friends with memes. They communicated with us with memes, and that it showed us that we have the same sense of humor.
Memes beat English.
Memes beat English.
It's more universal. Cats are cats are global.
I don't speak English. I speak cat meme.
Amen.
Per.
And then I think one thing with RedNote as well, it's like recognizing whose house you're in was which is really nice to see Americans embrace that and be like, yes, we're taking off our shoes. It was so funny.
I loved hi, I'm just visiting. I'm taking off my shoes. I'm leaving them at the door. And I brought you tea.
I was like, okay.
Well, because cultural exchange really is like the backbone of, a great civilization and learning. And so I think that, mindful media, when it comes to something like RedNote, is taking so much joy in connecting with friends like pen pals. Big pen pal energy with RedNote. Very big pen pal energy. So I made like kind of a meme post on RedNote, and it was like a scenario, and someone on RedNote in the comments drew my scenario in a little comic book.
That's so cute. Wow.
It was like a meme, but they like drew, I don't know, I'll show you.
It was adorable.
But so it's like, do we I believe that languages are essential to like preserving your culture. So that really extends to memes, and memes are really unifying. Memes and emojis, super unifying. And when it comes to RedNote for mindful media, I think it just means being mindful of.
Also, I think some memes will transcend time. And what I mean by that is like, there's like obviously contemporariness of memes, but like if you go to like the hieroglyphics, some hieroglyphics are very clear. Like, oh, they love cats. Like, we can connect to our ancestors and be like, wow, it looks like we've always been enslaved by the cats. You know what I mean? Like that running joke. So I wonder, even though it's a newer language, because it's like
it is hieroglyphic.
It's hieroglyphics.
Is that not more advanced? Honestly, language is kind of limiting sometimes.
So I think it's a form of language, hieroglyphics, that 100 years from now they'll still see the memes that we used and be like, oh, know what they're referring to. Obviously, they'll have different cultural ones too that they won't understand, or they won't understand some of ours without clues. But I'm also interested to see how Red Note evolves in terms of cultural exchange, because it's a very like live anthropology.
I know. And also there's a lot of business behind that too. Oh, that's one angle.
But I'm thinking of like, we got on there, the first things were like, hello, how do you say hello? Okay, when we got that basics down, then we're like, this is my family. And then they'd post their family. Cool. And now they're very instinctive, right? Like we want to share basic lineage stuff. Then we're talking about grocery prices, education, healthcare, fashion. And I'm like, okay, what's next? Now we're doing basic exchanges. And there are people who are getting into a little more, like, more meta conversation. And also we're branching out, right? Like we all started with, everyone's talking about the same thing. But now we're branching out into our niches. And I don't know. It's just cool to watch society's evolution of interest.
Yes. Also, I think it's so fascinating because when we learned about Red Note, we were under the assumption, just due to the looming TikTok ban, that it was another TikTok. But it actually it's a different app. Like it has different functions and it's so beautiful to explore. It's like truly visiting a new country because you're exploring new features, but it is someone else's home. Yeah. And I think that's really cool. Like we get exposed to innovation in that way. And maybe that will inspire us in the way we record content on TikTok, if it doesn't get banned.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like I think that there's cross-cultural like innovation that we're learning from each other. Not just like cross-cultural day in the life, but just even with the app experience itself, because I think the vibe on Red Note is lifestyle.
Yes.
And it's not as much discourse. And I think that like all of us Americans coming in at like the most ultimate discourse moment in our country, the TikTok ban, and not having anywhere to discourse, we kind of dumped it on Red Note, which by the way, did you see that the app changed from Chinese to say Red Note?
No, wait. I have to look at this attention.
Only because it's the only app that I get notifications from. So, because I love my Chinese pen, okay?
Wow. Well, the home screen is still Chinese. Wow.
Yes, home screen is totally still Chinese, but they auto translate. They have the translate button for all of the captions under a post and all the comments. So they really moved quickly.
Wow, they did. It was incredible. Which makes sense that DeepSeek was a 1-year project.
I know.
Incredible.
Yeah. We will.
Hats off.
Hats off to China. We love you. I am up for adoption. Xie. I do know how to say hello, comrade, but only in writing. I need to learn how to say it. And
I think pronunciation, accent, that's going to be a challenge.
Mine is
Speaking of accents, it's such a tangent. I mean, when I went to the hair salon, she's like, British? I was like, oh, the person, no.
Because you have a global accent. You have this.
I don't know if I have an international, because there is such a thing as an international accent. Yeah. I don't have that.
You have the school accent.
I have like an infusion of different accents with different words.
It's kind of like you are an amalgamation of all of your life experiences and travels and people. And
100%.
That's really, really cool.